Hey guys, welcome to Blocked Content. This is Callum. I am very tired. I was actually about to go to bed. I'm so sorry if I'm not that energetic today, but I'm very happy for this still, even though I'm really, really tired. This is Block Content, and today we're discussing some Nintendo Switch news, and actually, something very weird has happened over at the 4chan world. You know, the 4chan world, the weird world that you should not visit, but I do it for you guys, so you don't have to visit there. Anyway, 4chan has this new Nintendo Switch leak about a very specific game, a game that you guys are all waiting for, and which could probably be a launch title for the Switch. We don't really know, but it has... Oh, I'm so tired. But it has been announced in the trailer, actually. It was actually Mario Kart 8. But will this be a port? Yes or no? What kind of characters will be in that game? What kind of stages will be there? We had really no information, and it could just as well have been sort of a tech demo. I'm so tired. It could just as well have been a tech demo, right? So anyway, there is some news right here on the 4chan. So I'm going to talk to you about this right now. This post is simply having a picture of the Nintendo Switch trailer with just the logo. And then it goes over to say, hey, Mario Kart Switch leaks. And the guy says, Insider here. So Nintendo Insider here. Who's ready for some juicy details on Mario Kart Switch? Alright, I am, I guess. It's late and I'm tired, but I'm very hyped for this, so let's read it, okay? He green text, which is basically like something like quotations or something like that, right? So he reads, it reads like this. It is not a port of Mario Kart 8. It is a completely new game with new mechanics. What? So it's not at all what they showed in the trailer? It's a completely new game? And how will they do this in time? I mean, it has to run on the engine of 8, right? Oh, wow, engine for a card game, that's funny. But it has to run on the engine of 8, right? Because that engine was very good, graphically was awesome, so that makes sense. So if it's not a port of 8, it kind of feels like it has to be, right? But, okay, so it's not, sure. The second point that he makes is the number of racers has been bumped up to 18. Well, 18 races is pretty good, but still not anywhere near what people really want from the Mario Kart franchise. There's been rumblings about some sort of Super Smash Kart, because they are introducing stuff like Link in the newest game, and the Animal Crossing characters as well. So, yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibilities to have something like a Super Smash Kart, but yeah, that'd make the franchise a little bit too much Super Smashy and not Mario Kart enough, right? So, the numbers that has been up to 18... I don't think that's an impressive number at all. I think that with all the baby characters and all the glowing metal, shiny, pink, gold peaches, I don't think 18 is a great number. You know, if you look at the roster of Super Smash Brothers, I think that's touching like 60 characters or something like that, and they have a lot more animations to go through than Mario Kart characters, definitely. So, no, I'm not impressed by that at all. The next point is you can play multiplayer with multiple Switches. So with multiple handhelds, you can play multiplayer. You can play a 16-player game on 4 different consoles. Okay, that makes sense, right? 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Then you play a 16-player game, but that would kind of be chaotic. Is there some sort of TV involved, right? Or, I don't know. Anyway, the quote goes on saying, this is how the gamepad idea evolved, by the way. Expect lots of multiplayer games on the Nintendo Switch to take advantage of the multiple screens. Okay, so this kind of makes sense. This guy is kind of saying, okay, you guys know what the gamepad was supposedly going to be doing, that multiple players would have gamepads? That never really happened on the Wii U, and it was always just one gamepad. But right now with the Switch, because it's interactive and because everyone basically has that main thing and they can play with each other, that idea can finally come to fruition. So it's an interesting point that he makes, and I think that it will end up happening, though I'm a bit sketchy about this whole leak right here. And now he's going into some specifics about the characters. You guys. And this is where it gets strange. Very, very strange. So the new characters include King Boo, and we already know about this. We saw King Boo in the trailer, which is weird because the trailer was exactly Mario Kart 8 with some slight differences. So he is taking some stuff from that. If this is not true, he is taking some stuff, but he's saying that it's a new game, which I don't really get. Okay, so the characters include King Boo, Captain Syrup, the Queen from Wario Land Shake It, complete with her own course, and finally Yarn Yoshi. Okay, so let's get into this. King Boo makes sense. Will probably, definitely, 100% sure happen. Then Captain Syrup is a very well-known character from the Wario franchise, a pirate, and this captain actually was very high up in the polls to appear in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. That never happened. But then the Queen from Wario Land Shake It, that game was not at all memorable, you guys. Is this guy just in love with the Wario franchise that he just throws these in there? I don't think that makes a lot of sense, dude. Complete with her own course? I don't know if anyone wants to see Queen from Wario Land Shake It course. I would rather, see a Yarn Yoshi stage. And talking about Yarn Yoshi, supposedly he's in the game, right? Yarn Yoshi. But isn't he called Wooly Yoshi, by the way? Anyway, but Yarn Yoshi, okay. This kind of makes sense as well. If you think about it, there are Mario clones in the game, not just Metal Mario, but I think there was also Cat Mario, right? Or at least Cat Peach and maybe Tanuki Mario or something like that. I have to look into that a little bit more, but that to me was kind of strange, right? That there are kind of clones of characters in the game, and not clones by standards of Smash Brothers, where they are different characters, but they borrow moves. No, they are clones. They are the same character in a different outfit. And, of course, that's kind of jarring. And having Yarn Yoshi in there, that at least is a very cool skin. And I would be very surprised if that doesn't end up in Super Smash Bros. As well. Because Yarn Yoshi was made for that world, right? Very unique kind of color scheme. And if you cycle through the colors of Yoshis and just see a Yarn Yoshi, definitely that would be a fan favorite for sure. And the game was awesome as well. I'm still playing it right now. I haven't unlocked all the Yoshis yet. I still have to collect some wool, dudes. Anyway, these new characters, King Boo, Captain Syrup, Queen from Wario Land, and Yarn Yoshi, I'm not buying it. I don't think so. I think that if they are going to add some characters, if they bring back King Boo, they for sure will add Diddy Kong and stuff like that. The characters that are missing from Mario Kart 8, that just really don't make sense at all. And I think they'd rather dive kind of a bit more into the Mario enemies, and maybe even some Donkey Kong characters as well, maybe some King K. Rool love, or maybe we will even get Cranky Kong in a cart. That would be awesome. I would be totally for that. Anyway, one of the last points is one of the new gimmicks is deep underwater racing. There are times where you will be able to move freely underwater, sort of like the plane in Diddy Kong Racing. So, as you guys probably know, Diddy Kong Racing was an amazing game for the Nintendo 64. I played this game so many times, so much that I actually kind of got good at it, and I'm not that good at video games for having a video game channel. Anyway, yes, I'm very for this. If there is some sort of deep underwater racing going on, there could be awesome visuals as well, some of the fishes and all that kind of stuff, but also to move freely underwater. That sounds awesome. And yeah, I love the plane in Diddy Kong Racing. You, of course, had 3 different game modes. There was one kind of a hovercraft where you can, slide over the water. There was one where you had a plane and you could freely, fly through the sky, and that was amazing and it felt really good. And then there was, of course, the general cart. But borrowing a little bit from Diddy Kong Racing isn't that bad of an idea. I would kind of see that happening. Even like the adventure mode, vibe of Diddy Kong Racing, I totally loved. And I always thought Mario Kart should lend a little bit from that. Also, Crash Team Racing or something like that. That game did that very well, the sort of adventure story mode in a kart game. Love that. And I think Mario Kart should borrow from that as well. So if the leak doesn't end up being true, at least Nintendo take note, because this is what people want. So one of the last points is expect lots of Sunshine themed tracks. So they mean, of course, Super Mario Sunshine, game from the GameCube, and heavily rumored to also maybe have some connection to the new Mario 3D game, right? Because it looks like a new town. new place that Mario visits, kind of like Isle Delfino. So expect lots of Sunshine themed tracks. So I do love Sunshine. I think it's a kind of an underrated, weird Mario game that was never really supposed to be a Mario game. Like, we have to dig through the internet sometime and kind of find out where that game actually started, because I don't believe that it started as a Mario game. I just won't believe that. It's too weird. It's too crazy, but I love it. And Sunshine themed tracks, of course, we've had these in the past. I think Mario Kart on DS actually had a very cool kind of Isle Delfino plaza. And then, of course, we had Peach Beach, which was, of course, also Isle Delfino. And lots of more kind of hints to the Sunshine world. But having more themed tracks from that game, I could only think of Pina Park. Or Pina Park? Anyway, the cool, awesome, theme park kind of level could work really well with Mario Kart as well, I think, because there's so much you can do with a theme park kind of setting, and they kind of did that in Mario Kart 8 with a Wario stage, but it never felt alive. It never felt like an actual theme park, and the airport stage felt real and like an actual airport. So they are able to bring things to life. They just didn't do that with that Wario stage. Or was it a Wario stage? It was like this underwater. Oh, I remember. It was some sort of water park, right? That was what it was. Wario had this ice level, this awesome snow level that was one entire stage. Anyway, and the last point is expect lots of new multiplayer modes. So multiplayer modes, and especially battle mode, was very poorly received for Mario Kart 8 simply because there really was no battle mode, right? They made no extra tracks. It was kind of an afterthought to still add it. I even think they shouldn't have added it, and I think it should have been add-on content. They never even did that. And what was so cool about Mario Kart, the original, but also 64, was that these battle levels, they changed the game totally. Like, playing on those maps made Mario Kart about totally different things than drifting and finding these different hallways to have shortcuts. That it just became this very technical kind of awesome, and it even had height differences in the gameplay, which I totally loved, and kind of taking over your camp, your color. I love that, and the balloons, of course. And that never really made it into the new Mario Kart game, which was really sad. I don't really know what happened there, but I really wish that Nintendo would, add new multiplayer modes as well, like this leak is saying. But as I scroll through this page, people don't really seem to believe this dude. It's kind of seeming like even, the only thing that really says this doesn't really match up is the Wario characters, the weird decision of Captain Syrup, and of course the Queen from Wario Land Shake It. It's all too specific. It's all too personal, I feel. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is not true, but it does spark my imagination with a lot of things, because bumping the number of racers up is, to me, exciting, even though 18 is not that much. But playing multiplayer with multiple switches, so a 16-player multiplayer match with actual 16 people, that'd be insane. And also thinking about like a Diddy Kong Racing style game mode, something like an adventure mode, and maybe something like flying around in a plane or maybe underwater, something like that. That, sparked my imagination, so I gotta thank this league for actually making that world more alive for me, at least. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. This was Block Content. I really hope that you press that awesome subscribe button, because we're starting to grow, guys, and I'm so happy that you are already part of this family of Block Content, because we're not that amazingly big, but I feel that we're really starting to grow for a channel that just started like 5 months ago or something like that. This is insane. I'm very happy, and about all these Switch leaks, I find this so interesting, because that thing, every single secret will be revealed in January, right? In the Nintendo Direct. But right now, we have these tiny pieces of information floating in every single day, and I'm just so happy that we have something to talk about, because it'd be so sad if like that trailer dropped, the 3-minute one, and then just nothing, just radio silence forever. Because we want to talk about this thing, we want to share our hype and our ideas, and I think a leak, or maybe even a fake leak like the one that we are discussing today, that is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. It's, sparking conversation. And it's, of course, lighting up our eyes with the possibilities that could come with Switch. And I think that is all what hype and the hype train are about, right? It's looking ahead and it's kind of predicting what the road is that the train's going to, ride. And we never really know, but we are all on board for the journey. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This was Block Content, and there is always more Nintendo Switch news and leaks right around the corner. See ya.